What up fellas, be like in the building. Guys, today we are gonna be checking the video from Hamsterville, Warmane's new Frostmourne server. Is it any good though? What I wanna say is that I really actually like Warmane servers. They are mostly focused on Wrath of the Lich King, but they also have like DBC server. I think it's called like Outland or something like that. And they also have like I think like Cataclysm server. But what I really like about Wrath of the Lich King Warmane servers is that you have all different types of servers. So you have Lordaeron that is point 0.1 experience, so really like hardcore. Then you have point 0.7 experience X7, and what it basically means is that everybody is more focused on raiding, and that's what they want to do. So if you are more willing to do just raiding and you are really going to be focused on the end game content, then you're going to be playing on Icecrown. Then you have Blackrock. Blackrock is mostly where I'm playing. I'm doing my PvE on Icecrown, but on Blackrock you're doing hardcore PvP arenas, and the guys in Blackrock are machines. I'm kidding you not. People that are playing PvP in Blackrock, like they know what you're doing. It's hard if you want to get like, and also you are starting with like Relentless gear, and the best gear is Wrath full gear slash ICC, and you can be actually buying PvE gear and best PvP gear from for arena points and honor points, so you can be actually getting a base character on Blackrock just from doing PvP, and that is actually really cool. So Blackrock server really good. But then now they introduce Frostmourne server. What Frostmourne server is about is it's a progressive server that it's a Wrath of the Lich King server. So but you are starting in the phase 1 and you are going through the phases. First phase, Naxxramas, Ulduar, and then Trial of the Crusader, and then at the end, Icecrown Citadel. But what I like really about this one is that you're progressing through the content. So you will really experience every stages of the content in Wrath of the Lich King, and it's really cool experience. I didn't have personally time, but I've heard a lot of people are really liking Frostmourne server. And at the end of the cycle, let's say after I think like 2 years or 1.5 years, what's going to happen is that all characters are going to be transferred from Frostmourne to Icecrown, which is already fully progressed. So that's actually really cool. Let's have a look what Hamsterville is going to say about this server.
Hey guys, Hamsterwheel here with a new video, and today I want to talk about Warmane's new server called Frostmourne. You see, ever since the lockdown I've been busy making videos, and all of a sudden I heard of Warmane starting a new Wrath of the Lich King server. Yes, I know, the 1 millionth fresh Wrath of the Lich King server. But having played on Warmane before, I knew two things would be certain. Or at least I assume it would be certain. One, server stability, and two, very high population. And since this server has 7 times experience rates, I thought it would be a fun pastime to level a character there and experience the madness of getting to max level, and maybe do some endgame stuff. So as of right now, my warrior is sitting at level 80, has around 2.8k gear score, and I've done a little bit of endgame stuff so far.
Warrior, pretty good, pretty decent selection of the character. Very strong PvE DPS, and obviously he can be tanking 5-man raids. Very good selection. Very good choice.
Far. So, without further ado, let's talk about this new private server. So what exactly is Warmane Frostmourne? Well, it's a new Wrath of the Lich King server with 7 times experience rate, 3 times reputation rate, 3 times skill rate, and I'm pretty sure drops of green and stuff like that is higher too. They have cross-realm enabled for the server for PvP, though they have mentioned that it's only cross-realm when people of another realm with the same sort of item level join. And so far I haven't seen any crazy 6k gear score people in my battlegrounds yet, so I guess the system is working.
Actually, whenever I play on a fully progressed Blackrock server, I never met people from Frostmourne, neither in BG, neither in arenas, and I think it's fair that way. So I think that the people who are actually doing BGs and arenas right now should be locked just into like their own bubble, because I don't think it's safe just to just to actually match them against people who are overgeared. It's not gonna be fun.
Now the unique twist to this server is that it's seasonal. Yep,
Yep.
seasonal. Basically that means that it will be online for 1 season, and after that the entire server will reset. You won't lose your characters, as you can transfer them to another realm, but after the reset you will have to start fresh with a new character again. So, whether you like it or not, it's definitely something unique that sets them apart from all the other Raft servers. Anyway, let's start leveling, and I decided to go for something I never did before. Roll an Orc Warrior on a Raft server. Trust me, I know very little about this class in general, let alone in the Wrath of the Lich King expansion, but that made things more
Every warrior ever. Bro, my class is so hard. Like, warrior, like spamming Mortal Strike, Whirlwind. Bro, this shit is so... You are changing stances. Like, I know you're a mage, and positioning is really important. You have to be tracking your DR timers. You need to be polymorphing your main target, your focus. But warrior, you are changing stances, bro. Like, warrior, that's the god level class. That's what every warrior wants you to think. I play also warrior in PvP, and just to tell you, like, it's a good class. Don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't say it's the highest, like the high skill cap class. Still, there's a really big difference between an okay warrior and a really good warrior in PvP, also in PvE. But when we compare it to classes in PvP, for example, like Frost Mage, 5 years ago during WOTLK, I was like 2.2 Frost Mage, and the plays that I was doing were insane. The control of the main target, back of a focus target, freezing everyone, controlling the whole match. It's insane. Fake casting all the time with the Shamus against me. Fake casting every single time, all the time, just fake casting. It was mental. But with warrior, you charge and you tunnel, and in Wrath of the Lich King, you also have rent ability, and when you put a rent, oh, you have rent also in other expansions. But what is really special in Wrath of the Lich King about the warrior, you will put a rent on a target, and then it's proccing you instant overpower. You don't, your enemy doesn't even have to dodge or parry, and you will be just putting overpower all the time. And what is really special about Wrath of the Lich King warrior is that if you actually overpower enemy while he's casting, you will reduce his spell power by 50% for 8 seconds. I'm not kidding you not. Check the talents is in the arm tree, and if you overpower somebody into the cast, so imagine that, for example, you are having Mortal Strike, 50% healing reduction. Pretty strong, you're gonna say, right? But then, while you're gonna be casting, for example, a healing wave or penance, and the warrior is going to be putting overpower into your cast as well, what it basically means is that your penance or flash heal are gonna be healing for 25% of your spell power. Warrior, very strong in Wrath of the Lich King.
interesting for me. Anyway, as expected, the starting zones were crawling with people, and at every town like Razor Hill, Crossroads and so on, there were tons of people running around trying to do quests and whatnot. It was really fun to see, and kinda reminded me of the Nostalgia's days. And sure, Warmane has a bit of controversy with their population.
Yeah, rest in peace, Nostarius. It is what it is, but you will be missed, but never forgotten.
As some people say their numbers are fake, but whether those numbers are fake or not, it can't be denied that there's a ton of people playing here, so that's definitely good regarding the health of the server. I'm also glad that the staff of Warmane took some measures to make questing a bit more doable. I mean, there were tag wars for a ton of mobs and items, so it was nice to see increased spawn rates for mobs. Though at some points this was a little annoying, as some mobs spawned so fast that before you even got down a pack of 3 mobs, they already started spawning again. I'm looking at you, Stolen Silver Quest, with those damn raptors. Also, now that I'm a warrior, I get to experience the warrior quests, and they were pretty cool, and all seem to work well here.
That's nice.
Now, up until this point, whether you like Warmane or not, it has to be said that the stability of the server is top notch. There are thousands of people playing here, and so far I've experienced maybe 1 or 2 lag spikes and 0 crashes.
Warmane is an excellent choice for the private server. I would say that in the area of private servers, Warmane is the best choice. It's just so massive. They have so much experience. They are running TBC server. They are running so many. They are running how many? Lordon, Icecrown, Blackrock, Frostmourne. They are running 4 Wrath of the Lich King servers successfully. They are running also 1 Cataclysm server. It's mental. They are really. They know what they are doing.
Maybe I was just lucky with when I was playing, but considering how most of my time was playing in the evening, so in the busy hours, I'd say that in terms of stability, things are looking pretty damn good.
Yep.
Also, now it's time to talk about the sponsor of this video, Raid Shadow. I'm just kidding, guys. It's a shit game, wouldn't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. Anyway, let's continue. So after a while we got to Fairless, where we destroyed some of the ogres, and I slowly but surely started to get the hang of the warrior class. I'm currently leveling up as arms. I mean, I have no idea if that's the best way to level up, but I like it the most. Because, well, Blaze Storm's pretty cool, I guess. Yeah, I know, I'm such a warrior noob. Anyway, I teamed up with some people and we did these super tedious...
Blaze Storm is the most coolest shit ever. You just... the best warrior ever. Charging... But what is it called? Glyph of the sweeping strikes. So sweeping strike is going to be costing you 0 rage. Blaze Storm, everybody's dying. 0 skill, 100% skill.
Chicken escort quest, but it was worth it as it gives you a ton of experience. Then later down the line we got to Outlands.
Yep.
And oh boy, it was utter chaos. You see, in Hellfire Peninsula, there's multiple places where both Alliance and Horde got to complete and hand in quests. And while some of them didn't do anything because they were trying to level up, some took it upon themselves to gank someone. And then some other guy joined in, and then 2 other guys from the other faction tried to step in, and dead bodies everywhere, and no one could continue their quest.
It is what it is, but it's about the journey. You know, you gotta have this rivalry. Alliance versus Horde. I actually really like it. I like it, but it depends. Of course, when you're winning, it's fun. But when you are going to be getting killed, it's not so fun. And what I want to say is that, in my personal opinion, that Horde players are mean. Like, they are more mean. I was playing also Horde, I was playing also Alliance, and I would say that the Alliance players are kind of like more professional from my experience. And Horde players are sometimes just like assholes. Like, you are having this undead rogue kind of like mystery that everybody who is undead rogue is a mean person, and it's not true only in 85% of the cases. So yeah, it is what it is.
There was also some 68 Death Knight who decided to stop leveling, go back to Thrallmar, where all the level 61 Hordes were trying to level up, and just hunted them down and 2-shotted them. Which was annoying, but yeah, it's a PvP server, and it's Warmane, so it's part of the course. Fortunately though,
on Icecrown server, you got actually people who are making guilds, and they are calling themselves like they are 70 twinks. So what they are doing is that they are stopping their progression at level 70, and they are doing level 70 dungeons and a level 70 raids. And what it basically means is that, and they are also saying like, bro, we are doing level 70 like PvP, world PvP. But in a nutshell, what it means is that you have this guild who is full of level 70s. They are having raid gear, they are having dungeon gear, and what they are basically doing is that they're going to Hellfire Peninsula, and they are killing low level players of the opposite faction. So that's what I mean by world PvP. When you see somebody who is like recruiting, we are like level 70 PvP guild, get the hell out of here. You're just gankers, and you're shit.
So most people decided not to bother with ganking. I mean, this early into a server, most people are just occupied with trying to get to max level.
Yeah.
But don't worry though, give it a week or two and this server will have that classic Warmane flavor to it. And with that, I mean level 80s in full epics preying on low levels at Thrallmar or Honor Ult, or right in front of the Dark Portal. But apart from the mess that was Hellfire Peninsula, leveling in Outland went pretty smooth, and all throughout Outland, I once again maybe experienced one quest that acted weird, but I could complete all of them, and again very little issues with server stability.
A lot of people are gonna be saying, "Oh, the quests are not working on the private servers," and what I'm gonna say about it is that yeah, that might be the case, but also a lot of things might not be working in classic TBC as well. So it is what it is. Everything has its own issue, and when so many people online are playing, I think I've seen right now there's an issue in classic that bots, they just have like thousands and thousands of bots, and bots are basically like taking all herbs, and there is not enough herbs to make flask. Like that's kind of sad if you ask me.
Then we arrive at Northrend, and well, as a crab-geared warrior, it was a bit of a struggle. You see, the upside of leveling on a 7x rate experience server is that you get to enjoy endgame content pretty quickly. The downside is that you will outgear yourself really quickly, and getting gear from quests can't keep up with how fast you level up.
Yeah.
So especially melee classes, like the warrior, will have a rough time leveling up.
Yeah.
Especially someone who's playing a melee class they know very little about. Yes, I struggled a fair bit. However, slowly but surely, I managed to get closer and closer to level 80. And I spent most...
Warrior is a very strong class, but the leveling kinda sucks. You just need a pocket healer. It's the same like with the BGs. If you wanna be good in BGs, if you wanna be good in PvP, you just need a pocket healer. And it is what it is. Even in arenas, BGs, like... Whenever I play PvP with my 80 level warrior, I'm almost beast, and I'm in the battleground, and I just don't have a pocket healer. I'm useless, bro. I feel kind of useless. Like, imagine that we are having a fight, and what I have to do is that I have to band-aid myself, and I need to be using first aid, and I need to be eating food. That kind of sucks. And all what I need is like 2 flash heals. Yeah.
Most of my time doing quests in the Grizzly Hills, as I know the main camp at Sholazar Basin was going to be a total mess as well in terms of ganking. There was one problem though. Because you're leveling up so fast, it also means you're broke most of the time. I mean, you can get your flying mount to level 60, but I think I got mine maybe 9 or 10 levels later because I was just struggling for gold. And in Northrend, things kind of repeated itself. I eventually got the required level, but I was still missing 600 gold for Northrend flying skill. So all those cool quests in the Storm Peaks, like the Sons of Hodor quest chain, yeah, not really doable. So I just had to stick to lower level zones and level up there. Though with the 7x experience rate, it wasn't that much of a hassle and leveling still went quite fast. And then, sooner or later, I hit level 80 and got my flying mount.
Yeah.
It was also quite marvelous to see just how packed cities like Orgrimmar and Dalaran were, though for some reason Dalaran had this weird random logout bug that makes you log out of nowhere. So just keep that in mind when you're queued for something and you alt-tab quickly to, well, whatever website you want to visit. Chances are you'll find yourself logged out later on, and of course when you log back in, you're out of the queue.
There is a problem with Dalaran on Warmane servers. Is that the problem is Dalaran is so packed, so overpacked. Iceground servers is during the peaks having like 10,000 players online. Is that it just logs you out. I don't know what it is, and you are moving. You're not like AFK. So I think they are having some issue with that one with Dalaran, but it's only in Dalaran. So the best thing is not to be there for so long. I experience it once in a while, not that often, but I can tell there's just too many people. There's just too many, and it's only one layer.
So just queue up for something, and while queued, stay the hell away from Dalaran.
Yeah, but still better story than a AQ opening on the test server from Classic.
I also want to add, it was really cool to see everyone still in starter gear. I mean, I've always seen Dalaran packed with people flexing their 36 different mounts and full epic 25-man ICC gear. This time though, everyone looked like they were just starting their adventure, which definitely levels the playing field.
Yeah.
So one of the quest chains I wanted to do at level 80 was the Scarlet Crusade quest close to Icecrown. And with so many people running around, it was a bit of a nightmare. At some point I decided to just camp one spot, wait for the respawn, kill that, and just rinse and repeat. Which was definitely not ideal, but that's what you had to expect with such a large population. I mean, this was just part of the course in Nostalrius 2. Also, the part where you have to man the cannon and defend the outpost is kinda wonky, and definitely took some time to complete, but I managed to complete it after a bit. And after a few winter grasps, I did a quick WoW 25 and also did some battlegrounds, which had the regular type of stuff in it. Like people always complaining why this faction loses, people making catapults when you're supposed to make siege engines, you know, the typical Wrath private server stuff. Anyway, for now, I'll stop right here. So after having leveled up this character, having done some endgame stuff, what do I think of the server? Well, let's recap. The leveling experience was all in all pretty great. Lots of people and zones really felt alive.
Yeah.
Pretty much every quest I did was working properly, and GMs were actually quite active in World Chat too, like Proterian. And while some people were definitely toxic, I definitely had a fair bit of fun with other hordes, teaming up and working together to do quests.
Teaming up and ganking alliance players.
The ganking in Outlands was not ideal, but then again it's a PvP server, so that
Bro, if you think that the ganking is not ideal as a horde player, you should go and play some dwarf priest or something.
that's just bound to happen. When that happens, just remember the name, get to 80, get some PvP gear, and then take revenge when you see them.
It's too much of a hassle. Like, imagine that somebody's gonna be annoying. You're gonna lose so much time because he's gonna be an asshole. And then what you're gonna do is that you're gonna get to the max level. You're gonna get the gear, and then what you're gonna do is that you're gonna spend You're gonna waste more time by actually trying to find him. Like, it's not that worth it in my opinion.
So the server health is really good, people have a lot of interest in this project, and there's just a ton of stuff to do. And because the server is still fresh, the requirements for things like guilds, random pug runs and stuff like that aren't ridiculously high.
Yeah.
So even a scrub like me could join something like WoW 25 or
pretty
something
cool.
similar.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, would I recommend this server? Well, here's the thing. The server does have a queue, and the server will have more items available in the cash shop the further the server progresses. Yes, unfortunately the server is also plagued with the cash shop. But if you're okay with those two things, and you prefer higher rates, and you also want a new Wrath server, well then
With the Warmane servers that are actually hype up, the thing is that you need to be donating like at least $10. And if you're gonna donate $10, you're not gonna be having any queues ever. The queues are ridiculous. There's just too many people, so the queues are not worth it. So I think that you need. It is what it is. If you're not gonna donate, you cannot really like skip the queue. And the queues are like ridiculous. Like the same thing, for example, everybody just went and played on Ferlina server because Asmongold went over there in Classic WoW, and I think personally it was just ridiculous, and everybody was waiting hours in the queue, hours and hours and hours. Nowadays people are busy. You know, you're going to work. You just don't have time to be waiting hours to play the game. If you want to play the game, you want to play the game now. You want to do your stuff, and then you want to log off. We just don't have time. We are not kids anymore. So it is what it is. But the other thing is donation shop. I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest. But there's so much professionality with Warmane servers, and we have to understand that these things actually have costs. Like, what I think Blizzard should do is that they should actually contact Warmane guys, and they should be running WOTLK servers, to be honest, because they have just so much experience and they know a lot about the game. The same thing with the Nostarius people. I think that Classic should actually just contact Nostarius people and just hire them, make them work for for it full time because they know a lot about the game and they're actually passionate about the game. And that is the best type of people, the best type of employees.
This might not be too bad of an option for you. I mean, I haven't put a ton of hours in this server, nor do I think I will invest a ton of time in this character. But for the time I played here, I had a great time. So there you go, Warmane's new Frostmourne server.
You had a great time, and that is what it is all about.
Definitely not perfect, but it offers a solid experience with a super high population.
Yep.
And for some people, that's all they want. So there you go, folks, my thoughts on the new Warmane server Frostmourne. As always, I want to thank you for watching this video. I'm Hamsterwheel, and have a good one.
Very good video. I'm living a like. Hamsterwheel, you're a legend. Yeah, I'm subscribed, but I'm subscribed to Hamsterwheel. I will link the video down below in the comments, in the description. Fellas, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. It really helps me a lot. And write me in the comments the title of the video, or maybe the link of the video that I'm supposed to be checking in the next one. I will give you my opinion, and it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be crazy. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.